hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What is going on, Entertain? So time come tell with another video. So in this video, you guys, we're talking about Jeremiah. Now, Jeremiah, you guys, it seems to be that he's sort of outside of the Love Island villa because now press is dropping. He did an interview recently with a podcaster where he recently sat down. He told it all, y'all, from Huda to Ace, everything he was thinking, how he even got on the show. So I just wanted to get my thoughts a little bit about his experience there because it's real interesting to see him talk about it because you could tell he at this point hadn't gotten his phone back. Or even got his phone at all because we don't know if he's coming back to the villa. So some of the stuff that he's saying I found to be very interesting. So Nick tries to really get to know Jeremiah first with the podcast. We find out that the producers reached out to him to be on the show. Y'all know how I feel about recruits. They're shade. I don't care what show it is. When you get reached out to for a show, to me, you're skipping the line. You didn't even audition. You don't even know what the show really about. But when they reached out, he had a whole girlfriend. So he was like, nah, he don't want to do it. Now, this is the girlfriend where, he mentioned on the show he cheated that one time, right? He didn't want to do it. The producers ended up following back with him and say, hey, are you still in that relationship? And then he's like, no. So then that's when the conversation started for season 7. So if it was about 2 years ago, that would mean he was supposed to be maybe on season 5 or 4. He said he knew somewhat about the show because his sisters would watch the UK version. Do y'all want me to recap the UK version? Because a lot of y'all been saying that in the comments. Love Island UK, Love Island UK, Love Island UK. I've been talking about that all in the comments. So I might look into doing it. I don't know. Then they start talking about his past relationship and why and how he cheated. He said it was like a drunk night. He got drunk or whatever. The girl sort of pushed up on. Not gonna lie, it sounded like a assault. I'm like, are you trying to pacify that this girl really raped you? Cause it sounded a little sus to me. Was I the only one? I was like, wait a minute. What do you mean you got weak and you just? Cause the thing is, a lot of people do not talk about how a nigga really can get assaulted. It can happen. I done heard the stories. People have told me stuff. So it's it really can happen. But I guess it wasn't the case because he didn't go into specifics about it. But it was really a drunk night. And he said that he had a weak moment. And the girl was pushing up on him. And she ended up cheating on his girlfriend that he was with for a little bit. And then he called his mom because he didn't have a car at the time. The mom picked him up. He ran straight to the girlfriend, told the girlfriend they had a breakup, right? He said the breakup was okay, and the next thing you know, they ended up blocking each other throughout after the breakup and stuff. So before entering the Love Island, they were not even following each other. So she's probably watching this in real time, what the up, that, this is my ex on television. They started the beginning of the interview with that, Nick did, in order for us to kind of get an understanding of who he is. He ended up getting therapy after this. I found this to be so commendable. Niggas his age are not doing this. So for a lot of you guys, you Huda stans, okay? You Hooters. The Huda fans are called Hooters. They're shade. You know what I'm saying? Hooters. You Hooters, y'all need to lay off of Jeremiah because at least he had enough capacity to go and get help mentally and not just stay in the place that he was at. That I will always respect. I don't care what nobody says. He earns all of my respect for that. The moment he said that, I said, well, I rock with that because it's he didn't have to go and do that. And a lot of dudes his age, 22 to 27, he's 25, they're not in therapy. I'm not in therapy no more, no shade. You know what I'm saying? I need to go back though, but it's our age ranges are not in therapy anymore. And that's just the tea of it all. So to me, I feel although he had his fault in what Huda and him went through, a lot of people that are trying to villainize him and make it seem like he had ulterior motives and he was out for this and that, I don't think so. I don't see him being that mischievous to come up with something like that. I just don't. Now, in this interview, he tells us that he did not tell Huda that, you know, he loves her or that he was in love with her. Because that's a lot of what people are saying online is that, you know, he love bombed her. And that's why she's acting the way that she did. But he clarifies that is not the case. I could believe that. I think what really made them go left is when she gave up the pussy. That's when everything went downhill because the emotions were raw. And he admits that in the interview. He said, like, that was a mistake that they made because they got intimate very quickly. Now, what I did peep in the interview is when he talked about that, I felt like they slept quicker than what they showed us. I think they slept together the first few days because the way he insinuated it, it seemed very early. And from what we saw in the edit, it was much later. So now it makes even more sense. That's why Huda started going so crazy early on. So I'm like, So Nick also asked him, like, what really attracted you to Huda? And he said it was the gaze. It was the sensual gaze that Huda was giving him. Like the insert thick eyelashes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was the gaze that really had him hooked. And that was the reason why she picked him. He ended up going with her. Now, what I like that he clarified, because a lot of people felt like he was there for the money. Because at one point he said, you know, if we win, he said the reason why he said that is it wasn't really due to them winning the money, but more so them kind of like making it to the end together. Because he saw that most of the girls in the beginning, they were not his type. Y'all know he don't like black girls. Let's keep it a buck. So he wasn't gonna go for Shelly. He wasn't gonna go for Alondria. You know what I'm saying? Amaya wasn't gonna be his stilo. So it was only a few that he could really choose from, and one of them, the main one, was Huda. So that's why he ended up coupling up with her. Plus, he said she was emotionally intelligent. I'm guessing those were the first 2 days, because no, she isn't. No, she isn't. You know what I'm saying? I think that was he misspoke on that part because I don't agree. Jeremiah to me in this interview was so graceful in regards to the cast members because he really could have like ripped them to shreds, especially Huda and Ace, especially Huda. Like he said that the portrayal that we saw on the show from what he's seen so far, because from this interview with Nick, he's only seen a few episodes he said that he's been on, but he still has a couple of episodes and stuff to catch up on and stuff that's been happening online to catch up on. But he said it's an accurate portrayal of what's going on. He has no animosity towards her. He says where it turned bad and where they decided that they should be exploring other people is the challenge where Jeremiah ended up kissing Amaya. We all saw a little glimpse of that and how angry Huda became. So he said it was a lot more than that, and that there'll be conversations they'll be having, and next thing you know, Amaya would just not Amaya. I keep the names. Huda would just start crashing out. Huda would just start crashing out and be like, what the? And he said he watched some of the episodes, right? When he's watching the episodes, he would be like, get up, don't take that. It's a little too late for that, Jeremiah. You took it. She called you a pussy ass bee. Okay, not even that. A lot of people don't take into account like these people. Let me tell you guys, the way these reality shows work, you cannot just sleep. A lot of people think, oh, you could just go to bed when you want to. No, when you're up, you got to be up for a certain amount of time. So these people got to be up from sun up to sun down, and then you could go to bed because they got to get content for the show. So he said a lot of it where he was second guess his decision making and what he's saying, and if he was in the right or wrong when it comes to Huda, is because of lack of sleep. The nigga was tired, which I could really understand that because Big Brother and some of other reality shows, they're the same way. Like you cannot just go to bed. Like it can't be like 3 PM. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a nap. No, you got to be up. You got to be talking. You got to be interacting. They don't. They don't do that. They don't do none of that. That's what a lot of people don't understand. It's a lot of things behind the scenes when it comes to some of these shows. And if you're not like a reality TV kind of fanatic and you watch some of these shows and know the BTS, you wouldn't know that. A casual viewer wouldn't know that. So that at one point in the interview, we get to the infamous "I'm a mom" situation. They ask him like, "Hey," Nick says, "Do you wish that Huda had told you, hey, I'm a mom earlier?" And Jeremiah, being the nice guy he is, he said he understood. Okay, he said he gets both sides of the coin. Like you being a mom and not give yourself a chance to date because some people automatically take you out the picture because you have a kid. And he said he also gets the fact that you should, be proud of you having a kid. I disagree. You should be proud of you having a kid. I don't see no side of the coin. If a nigga don't love you and your kid, that nigga don't love you. That's it. That kid comes with you. It came out of your hoo-ha. You had to push it out. If you didn't push it out, it had to get cut out. You know what I'm saying? Like you birthed that. So it's like, if you're not so proud of saying, hey, I have a daughter, I have a son, mind you, this is why I love this interview, because Nick did a great job with articulating what he was saying. She made sure to mention that she was a mom, but did not talk about the child itself, I feel like, enough in a proud way. That's what, to me, irritated me about her, Huda, because it almost felt like she was ashamed. You're a grown-ass woman. Trillions of people on this kids have kids and date. So why are you acting as if like you're like an anomaly, like you're so special? You're not. You're like everybody else. I don't get it. Like that whole point, I don't know how people could argue it. I'm sorry. I don't know how you could argue it. And I love this argument because it ties into pop the balloon as well. Because that is some of the things that the people on the show, when they're gonna pop the balloon, they ask, do you have a kid? Pop. Because you rather them not waste your time than dating you waste your time and then hurt your feelings because they don't potentially see themselves being a stepmother, stepfather. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sorry. Like, come on now. Now, they asked him about, about the recoupling, which we voted on, right? And he felt like America was telling him through the recoupling that he could see what was going, that, we could see what was going on and what he was going through. And it irritated him how Huda tried to make it seem like America was watching out for him. Basically, Huda went to him and was like, "Oh, America's watching out for you." As we saw a little bit on the show, America's watching out for me and all the things that you did. And y'all, I did not know Huda was gaslighting this man like this. She told Jeremiah that every time she would talk about like, marriage or like basically a serious future, he would kind of make a face like, "Oh my God." Because mind you, they just getting to know each other. And she told him that she feels like America didn't like that, and America thought that he was not into her or a piece of crap because he would make faces at her. I'm like, first of all, we didn't even see that. Maybe if we did, maybe a few scenes here and there, but on a consistent tip, we did not see that. So Huda, please, Huda, water, cutter, shoulda. Like, oh my God, you really gonna sit here and say that, Huda? I couldn't believe it. That was funny because that to me is like, that's next level gaslighting. This is why I just do not talk to anybody, because they will gaslight the out you and think it's funny. Ain't shit funny. Okay. Now he said that they had a long talk before the recoupling about how they were gonna move, which we saw a small bit of, but he said it was like a 2-hour long conversation, that they had a long talk about how they were going to maneuver. I'm guessing how they were going to do it is they were going to still be closed off, but they were just going to explore just for the show so the people could get off their back. That's what it was given. They also asked him about, did they know, like the house girls know that Huda would talk crap about the new boom shadows that would come in the house. And he said that they would kind of pick up on it. And especially with Amaya, he was telling, she would go and vent to Jeremiah about Amaya, about how she hates Amaya's guts and how Amaya's this and Amaya's that. Mind you, she on a love show called Love Island where I all swap and spit. Huda really got issues. Like, that is crazy. And you know what the thing is, he said that like he thought, oh, it's cute, you really care. But then he was like, oh, shoot, that's crazy. This is why you got to recognize stuff like that in relationships, because it's like, that is the type of person, she's so territorial to where she's going to make you miserable so you don't even see nobody else but her. Like, that's the shit that people be talking about. Like, you really got to watch out for them red flags. And she's like, oh, walking red flag. So once again, in the interview, he was being extremely nice, because somebody else, had that have been Ace in his spot, I can guarantee you Ace would have been talking some hot shit. Okay? If she called him a pussy ass bitch, it would have been some hot talked about that day. So it ends off very messy. Shout out to Nick for being messy. He gonna play a clip from TikTok. It was a little corny, not gonna lie. Y'all could have played like a Mean Girls clip or something, where it basically showed that Ace had his alliance of people that was that he was in charge of. So Nick asked him, like, hey, what did you think about being voted out? Do you feel like the guys were jealous of you? And he basically was saying, since Adriana, and I'm gonna keep saying her name wrong, y'all, Adriana, ever since Adriana came in and they saw how she was liking him and the new bombshell was feeling him, he felt like they kind of peeped and was jealous and wanted him to fuck up out of there. So it was an intimidation factor. And all I'm saying and thinking of is, I can't wait till they reunite everybody, because if you think you're intimidated by him, Jeremiah, Chris is like 7 foot and has a career. Like, that's going to terrorize Ace. I cannot wait till they reunite Kase Abor. Now, he still really didn't go really in, but he said that the reason why he kept so quiet and didn't snap is because he felt like had he snapped, he would have went off on everybody, which I could see him kind of doing, and I could see the boys kind of ganging up on him. So he did the smart thing by not popping off, because it would have been like 3 against 1, because Austin wouldn't have said nothing. Austin would have been like, guys, like, can you guys like be quiet? Like, you guys are like yelling everywhere, and I'm getting a slight headache because you guys are so loud. Like, it would have been something like that. So I think he did the smart thing, to be honest, by not snapping the way that he did. And he also thinks that the reason why, because that clip is going viral, Ace really didn't like him because he curved Ulissa, which made Ulissa get stolen, which made him get stolen from Shelly. I don't really think that's the point. I think it's because he wanted Huda and couldn't get her at the beginning. And I think it was because he saw him being a potential winner at the end if him and Huda made it at the end. And he was jealous of the fact that a lot of the girls and stuff was liking him and they found him attractive. I think it all had to do with that combined. I don't think it has shit to do with Ulissa. Because y'all got to think about it. He curved Shelly for Amaya. And look how that ended up. The nigga was trying to choose. And he chose down. Well, he really chose up because Amaya Papaya is that girly. But you get what I'm saying? Like, he thought he was choosing up. But y'all didn't even, mesh. So I don't agree with that theory at all. I think that was a bad read on Jeremiah's end. Y'all got to understand, Jeremiah has bad reads on stuff. That's why he ended up getting together so long with Huda. He does not have good reads on situations. This was a really good interview, guys. It was really well done. I feel like I got all the answers that we needed, answered. And I feel like also Jeremiah went light. He went very light and nice. He kept it on the playground. He didn't, he kept it on the playground. He did. He played it nice. Let me know what y'all think down below about the interview if y'all did check it out. And we all babies.
No, personal thing.
Chocolate, we're gonna have to get you a boom shower. You need a boom shower, okay?